Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review, and what we have this time is the Okeya Aogami, our blue number 2 wa, our Japanese handled Honesuki 150mm knife. So this Japanese boning knife, which is meant usually for poultry, but can do other duties in a pinch. So some people use them as kind of a utility knife. Has a core steel of Aogami, our blue paper number 2 reactive high carbon steel from Hitachi. Heat treat is a conservative 60 Rockwell on that, so sometimes these will be touching bones and stuff. You're not going to go through bones with these, but since you're going to be taking apart poultry, you'll be, probably in and around bones, so they give you a little bit more forgiving heat treat on that. The construction is a 3-layer sandwich where you've got soft iron cladding, which is reactive, on top of, on either side of that harder core steel, and then it does wrap around the top on the spine as well. So the entire blade is reactive. There's no stainless here. The weight on this one is 92 grams or 3.2 ounces. And the edge length is right about 150, 5.9 inches. Overall length about 11.5 inches. The spine thickness, these are pretty thin. It's about 2 millimeters, and it pretty much just holds 2 millimeters all the way through until you hit the turn here with the tip, and then it thins out at the very tip. The cool thing about these is they are shaped kind of smaller at the tip, vertically widthwise as well, so you can get this in a tight spots, tighter than some versions of this knife from other companies, so that's kind of cool for maneuverability and precision. Blade height is about 37.5 millimeters, and if you've been looking at these knives, you might be looking at both videos, but they produced 2 versions of this blade. They have a Western or Yo version, handled version. They've got the wa or Japanese handled version, which is actually a bigger handle, quite a bit larger. The knife itself, the blade itself is basically the same. The neck is thinner and on the Western version, and thicker or wider on the wa version, as well as a little more length here. So this has a much bigger, meatier feel in the hand, and this has a more delicate or precise, smaller feel in the hand. So again, the blades themselves are almost identical. So let's see, let's take a close-up look at it. So they have this interesting finish on all their knives. It's a kind of a crinkle finish and reminiscent of a Nishiji or pearskin type finish. It's unique and interesting and pretty cool. It does have a little bit of texture. You can get your fingers on there and feel it. The right side of the blade has hand chiseled kanji, and they've got a nice raised feel, so you can definitely take a good look at them and feel them as well, so that's a pretty cool touch. Left side of the blade has an embossed kanji and a symbol. This is a double bevel Honesuki, so it's a 50-50 grind and a 50-50 edge, so great for lefties or righties. You can see the grind right there, and it gets nice and thin at the tip. Fit and finish is good. They've polished the spine a little bit of relief on the edges, as well as on the choil, back of the blade here into the neck. So comfortable right out of the box. Out of the box edge was okay, 4 out of maybe 5 out of 10. You'll want to put your own edge on this to get it sharper. The blade is pretty stiff for 2 millimeter thickness. It's quite stiff, and I think you've got some lacquer on the blade as well for a protective layer that can wear off over time, or you can take it off on your own with acetone if you wish to speed the process up. The handle's substantial, about 75 millimeters in circumference right here, and so the handle install is done pretty tight. They've got some glue, some sealer on it, so it's ready to rock and roll from that point of view. And you don't use these too much on board work, but some people like to use them as a petty or utility, so they've got enough blade height to do that. This is what this one looks like. You're not going to do a lot of rocking with this, but it'll do double duty if you wish to do some other stuff with it. So these are just a nice kind of high value line of knives that have some good qualities to them, and they're just cool knives. So anyway, there you have the Okeya Aogami number 2, the wa or Japanese handled version, Honesuki 150mm knife.